Happy Monday and welcome to Casting the Net, Reeling in Holistic Health, where we care about your mental health and well-being. I'm your host, Coach Rice, and I want to make sure that you tune in every Monday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, where I have my special guest on to talk about real issues that matter most. I want you to check us out on YouTube, Facebook Live, on Business Facebook page, also on the Be Awesome Network. Stay tuned. I think you're going to really like this next guest. Happy Monday and welcome to Casting the Net, where we care about your mental health and well-being. I am your host, Coach Rice, and with me today, I have Takilla Combs. She is a life organizing strategist and a professional organizer. This is going to be an interesting conversation because I've never talked to anyone in this field. Not only that, I am the worst organizer in the world. So I am so grateful to be learning from you today. And I say, welcome to Casting the Net. Tell us where you're from and how did you embark upon being a life organizer?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to have this conversation. I love talking to people about it that have no clue about like what I do or how I got into it. Because I love the authenticity of it, of the conversation. But I am from St. Louis, Missouri. That's where I live right now. I just recently moved back here from Charlotte, North Carolina, which I was there for 14 years. Loved it, but I had some things that I need to take care of inside of St. Louis, Missouri. So I'm back here with my family and having a blast and loving every minute of it. And how I got into this field. So I started off as a professional organizer, helping people to rid their lives of clutter and chaos in their physical space. So we're doing pantries, closets, all of these things to help maximize your space, to help you, you know, not have so much decision fatigue when you're getting up in the morning, how you're getting dressed, and all these things to make sure things are in order and how everything has a space, right? A place. Uh, and I quickly learned that inside of that, once I get them organized, a lot of my clients, okay, like what now? How do I keep it like this? Or like, are you coming back tomorrow? Are you coming back next week? What are we doing here? And so I learned that I needed to continue the coaching process after we got them physically organized. I had to continue coaching them. And some of them are not interested in coaching. They just want me to come back and do maintenance, which I'm totally fine with that too. However, the ones that really want to change their lifestyle and how they're living, those are the people that my expertise of being the life organizing strategist comes into play. How what's on your calendar, right? What are you saying yes to? What are you saying no to? How are you going to bed at night? Because I truly believe that your tomorrow starts today. It starts the night before, right? It's not you're getting up in the morning and trying to figure it out. It's I am preparing tonight for tomorrow. So what's on my calendar for tomorrow? What alarms do I need to set for tomorrow's meetings? Or did the kids pack their lunch the night before? Don't allow them to get up in the morning and try to figure it out, right? So all of those things come into helping us to have less decision fatigue, missing papers, not getting those papers signed for the kids, just all of the little bitty things that we scramble with in the morning. One of my clients, she told me recently her daughter could not find her shoes and they're running out the door. And at this point, she was frustrated and could care less about her daughter's shoes. So she wore some shoes that she didn't want to wear. But, those are the things that when we talk about creating the organized life, which is what my podcast is all about, what my platform has like, it's like made a whole 180-degree turn on just being a professional organizer to how do we create the organized life. That's what it's all about. It's about the little things that you don't want to think about that you just kind of forget until it just like hits you in the face, hits you right in the chest, and it's like, oh shoot, I forgot about that. We put all of those things into place so that we can have peace, so that we can have productivity that pushes us towards purpose.
I like how you mentioned it starts today.
Yes. Your tomorrow
Because
starts today.
right, I like how you put that because we don't often think about the way we go to bed. We don't think about that part of our lives
Mhm.
that set us up for the next day. So,
Yeah.
how do you train your clients of the importance of that, of going to bed at night? How do you explain to them and have them see that point of view?
Yeah. So the reality is when you're trying to create the organized life, your tomorrow starts today. Your next week starts this week. Your next month starts this month. Your next year starts this year. Right? So if you think about it like that, I'm always in the planning mode for the future. So I have clients, they come to me because they want to get physically organized. And I recently just got a new client. She's been with me 2 weeks. Our first session, she has a business and we're talking about inventory management and how we can get her warehouse organized because it's chaotic and she doesn't feel like it's running smoothly. So the first day we get on the call and we're talking about her physical space. The second session, exactly what needed to show up showed up. She was just disorganized. She did none of the things that we talked about on the first call. Well, she did a couple of the things. I won't say none of them. She did a couple of the things that we talked about, and so we can prepare for the next call, right? But she came back not prepared. Why? Because her calendar was out of order. Her schedule was out of order. So it's not even necessarily about me trying to train them. They train themselves. They come with the homework. She came with what needed to be talked about in the next session, which she was like, okay, I didn't take the pictures. I can't even take the pictures because my car battery is dead and I can't get to the, but, and so then we start talking about, okay, well, why didn't you take the pictures the day before? Why, like you had the whole week to take the pictures. It wasn't on your calendar, right?
Mm,
You didn't plan for it. So now you're trying to rush to take the pictures right before the meeting instead of having it already in your calendar. So what happened, what needed to happen showed up for her without her even planning it to show up. What needed to happen for me to coach her actually showed up for us, not for me to like push her to do something, but for her to even see it on her own.
got it. Which is actually empowering for her because she get a chance to see it's always that it's not that they don't do their homework, it's why, right?
Right.
What roadblocks?
Yeah, and so she came to the call. She's like, I don't know if I need to reschedule. I didn't take the pictures. I don't have the floor plan that you asked me to draw up. I didn't ask her to do an elaborate, just draw something up, like what you envision your space looking like just the little things. And so she didn't do those things. And so she's like, I don't know if we can have the call. Of course we can have the call, right? So, because what showed up needed to show up. So we talked about that. We talked about getting her dog needed to go to the groomer, right? Is that on the calendar, right?
Mm,
All of those things that we think are minor that don't matter, it needs to be on the calendar because you're going to be scrambling, right? So, what days are you checking your emails? Because I sent her an email. She's like, I don't even know if I got it because her email she got like 100,000 emails, right? So you
yeah, that can happen easy.
easy, right? So on my calendar, there's a time where I just check emails, I respond, I delete, right? So those little bitty things that kind of get us all tangled up, that's what we need to look at in order for us to truly live what I call the organized life.
So when you get a client and are they do they have to be local or do you have virtual assistants in that area? How does that work?
The client that I'm talking about, she actually lives in North Carolina. I
Okay.
have clients in New York, Atlanta. I have clients all over the United States and hopefully going
Okay.
globally, right? Because
Nice.
I, in the even in the physical space, I've traveled to. Alabama, Atlanta, all over North Carolina, not just in the Charlotte metro area. I've traveled here to St. Louis when I was living. So my business is where I am, right? So that could be
Mhm.
virtually, even in the physical space. If I'm helping you get physically organized, I'll travel to you. And that's my hands on. That's the bread and butter of what I do. What I love to do is hold people hand and help them to create the organized life in their physical space and the depth of just having those important conversations, right?
So with your clients being unorganized in their home, do they ever come to you and they just want to they want time management and not home organization? And do you find where you have to eventually go into the home?
No, I rarely have people coming to me for time management. It
Okay.
usually shows up in their physical space, which inevitably is the time management. It's
So you start with the physical space.
That's what they think.
Okay.
So they come to me thinking it's the physical space when really it is your time management. You're saying
Got it.
you're saying yes to the wrong things and saying you're putting things on your calendar or not even necessarily on your calendar on your plate that's not pushing you towards where who you want to become, who you're becoming, who you want to be. That's what we need to be focused on, right? In our calendar, on our schedule, what we doing on a day-to-day basis, the things that we are want to focus on are the things that are pushing us towards purpose, not those little bitty things, not the checking your social media notifications, not scrolling, not all. There's a time for that, right? But after we've done the things that are important to us, that's when we can scroll. That's when we can, do whatever it is that we want to do. But we got to get some other things in place and structured in order to create the organized life, because you'll just be willy-nilly in it for the rest of your life. You'll have decision fatigue for the rest of your life. That's why people get burnt out and overwhelmed, because
Mhm.
they don't put structures in place.
How can saying yes to the wrong things create clutter? And what if the house is clean and neat?
Oh, most of my clients' house are clean, but it's cluttered. Those are two totally different things.
Okay, elaborate on that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's
So
deep.
one day I posted this picture on social media. It's two kitchens, the counters are clean, right? The
Mhm.
like it's just both of the houses look immaculate. But you open the cabinets and what do you see? Like stuff are falling out the cabinets, especially, the Tupperware drawers. Those are probably the biggest ones. I've created so many social media posts about Tupperwares because they drive me crazy because people have so much Tupperware and you really only have a couple of days worth of leftovers in your refrigerator, but you have a million Tupperware bowls,
Yes.
no lids, right? No lids. But yes, so the difference between cleaning and organizing is cleaning, we're like wiping the surfaces down, we're sweeping, we're cleaning those baseboards. But how are you gonna get to the baseboards if you got stuff in the corners? How are you gonna get the counters clean if the counters have all these things on them, right?
Right.
So we got to get organized. When you get organized, there's a I have there's a process to getting organized. It's not just like oh, let me go organize this stuff. You got to declutter, you got to purge, you got to sort, and then you got to do the detailed sort. After you do the detailed sort, then and only then can you organize. You cannot
Wow.
organize before you've decluttered, before you've ridded your life of the things that are not benefiting your life. You cannot get organized with all the mess you still have. We got to get rid of some stuff that's not benefiting us anymore, right? That's not serving our life anymore. We got to look at, okay, I have 5 black shirts. Well, this one feels better. I love the texture of this one, but this one maybe fit me better. Or this one is long sleeve, this one is short sleeve, right? We got to look at those dynamics and then say, okay, well, I choose this one. I choose these two, and I'll get rid of these three, right? Because I'm really not wearing those. It doesn't match my style anymore. So it's a variable of things that we can look at in order to make those decisions to help us um, get decluttered, get organized. So you purge, you sort while you're purging, and then you do a detailed sort, right? So the detailed sort is after I've sorted into trash, keep, um, donate, sell, and relocate. Relocate is like, oh, it's in this room, but it needs to be in another room. It shouldn't be in this room. After I do that, the stuff that I decided to keep, then we're going to detail sort it. My pants, let's do khakis, jeans, dress pants, yoga pant, like your um, your
Workout gear.
out gear, right? So you detail sort it, right? And you do that in every room in the kitchen. You all the stuff that you decided to keep. Okay, these are the grains. These are the breakfast items. These are so you still detail sort. The process doesn't change, right? And
Hmm.
then and only then can you actually organize. And then after you declutter, then you can buy containers, you can buy hangers, but don't buy containers and hangers for all the stuff that you already have. You cannot buy containers, hangers, all these organizing items that we love to go buy when we decide, oh, I'm about to get organized. Let me go buy all this
That is
stuff.
true. That's the route we take.
Yeah. But you're buying for what you see, not for what you're actually gonna keep.
Right. That's true. And then we overstock things that we
We
don't need.
overbuy and
Yeah.
we buy wrong because you don't know what you're keeping. So you don't know if it's going to fit in here. You don't know what you're actually going to have. If this is too small, too short, too tall, too long for the items that you're actually keeping. Right? So after you've purged, after you sorted, after you do the detail, then you can organize and then you can purchase for what you have. And I know it sounds counterintuitive and backwards, but that's the way an untrained person on getting organized has to do it in order to have a successful, what I call organizing session.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. With all, you have clients, you have seen a lot. What do you what do you see the root cause of this disorganized life and time management? What is the root cause of that?
I'm going to go back to the calendar, your
The
schedule,
calendar.
how you're living, how you're going to bed, how you're waking up in the morning, your routine. Because what happens is, even the clients that I've gotten organized, they call me back to get to like, okay, Takilla, my house is a mess again. I need your help again. It's because they didn't put the structures in place. When are you doing laundry? Right? They're just taking clothes off, throwing it down. They'll wait 2, 3 weeks, they do laundry, but now your laundry is backed up, right? But if you had a system in place where you do your laundry cycle, I've created a laundry cycle for my clients. When you do the laundry cycle, if you do that consistently, weekly, your laundry won't get backed up. And you got to complete the laundry cycle. But if our schedule is out of order, we're just doing our laundry here and there whenever we don't have any clean undies and socks, right? Then it's going to get
Right.
backed up because you're not folding it, you're not putting it away,
Right.
right? So it goes back to your calendar, your schedule. And I know that people probably don't think that, oh, it's my closet, it's my pantry. Yeah, but your pantry gets disorganized because when you go to the grocery store, do you know what you already have?
Ooh.
Right? Did you make a grocery list?
Right.
Did you make a meal plan for this week? So this week we're having this. Let me shop in my house first, see what I have, and then make a grocery list based on that.
So
Right? So
you're
we're
actually helping them develop consistency, and the calendar is sound like is key for that.
Yeah, consistency, intentionality, right?
Mhm.
Those are so important when you're creating the organized life. You got to be consistent. You got to be intentional. And like, when are you doing everything? Almost like I know I'm doing my grocery shopping on this day, my laundry on this day, and it just what the challenging things on the back end are easier on the front end. The
How
easier
do
things
you
on the front
Okay, go
end,
ahead.
the easier things on the front end are more challenging on the back end.
Oh, okay. How do you deal with clients who hate the calendar? And I'm sure you probably ran into some that struggle with the calendar and staying consistent with the calendar because they hate routines.
Yeah, most of them do. They
Okay.
are, they don't see the benefit of it yet.
Okay.
Until we can see the benefit of something, we really don't like it. Like when I tell you, I used to hate social media. I used to hate being like I hated it as far as the business side of it, right? Posting about
Oh
content,
yeah,
all these
I
things,
can relate.
being like scared of launching my podcast, like all these things that we're afraid of because we're ignorant about it. But once you see the benefit of it, you'll start to love it and love what it's giving you instead of hating it, right? Because you don't know how to use it. Once you see the benefit of it, you'll start to love it, and you can't live without it, right? So it's just really changing their perspective and how they view it, and starting helping them to see the benefit of it. And until they may never love it, but until they see the benefit, you just got to keep coaching them. You just got to keep pushing them, right? Because
Right.
you don't know what you need. Our clients,
That's true.
they really don't know what they coming to you because they don't know what they need to do, right? But if you follow the step, if you follow the process and stick with me, you'll see the benefit eventually.
Have you ever coached someone that was a hoarder?
So there are levels to hoarding. So I'm going to say yes. I've never done the extreme hoarding, which you see on the television
Right.
shows. Yeah, I'm not an expert in that. I am a part of tons of professional organizing communities, and there are some people that specialize in hoarding, and they also will usually work with a psychiatrist, and some of them
Right.
are psychiatrists to help because those are extreme cases.
Yes.
And even in some of the cases, the even the higher level ones, tier three, tier four, um, those can sometimes still need a therapist, right? They can
Mhm.
still need to have counseling, which is why I am looking into getting my master's degree in marriage and family therapy. Because listen, the stuff that I have to deal with and coach people on, and families, and a lot of
I can
husbands,
imagine.
a lot of husbands are like, she should be able to get this done, right? Even if she's a stay-at-home mom, it's like a this is your role type of thing,
Right.
right? And some people, women, they don't have the wherewithal of how to get this done, of how to stay organized. So helping them to have the mindset shift and learn the skill set that it takes to get organized is important. It's not just I don't want to do it, it's I don't know how.
That's true. And I'm sure that it has to be, I didn't even realize it's a skill set that you need
Yeah.
to develop. And the calendar is your asset. Am I correct?
Yeah, and I didn't know that either. So I've been physically organized my entire life. So I've loved getting organized. I've loved organizing people. Like if you was my sister-in-law, whatever, I come over your house and I'm looking at your pantry, and this is before I knew what a professional organizer was, okay? I would go in, I'd be like, "Oh, can I fix your pantry for you?" Like I didn't even have the language for it, right? My
You
niece,
just knew that was your passion.
I just knew that I could do it better. I knew that it was something that I can do. And it wasn't until like almost 10 years ago to where I was found out that this was actually a career path that I could take. And that's when I launched my business. But before then I was always organized. When I launched my business, I quickly learned that I was not living the organized life. My schedule was all over the place. I had two boys, they were athletes, and they were all over the place, okay, because they're 2 years apart. So one of them is in one age group, the other one is in the other age group. They're not playing at the same time. Mommy wants to be at both games, right? I want to be at all the
Right.
places.
But you can't be in two places at one time, right?
Hello. So I'm like I mean, literally running all over. I would drive from one place to the other, telling people yes, and inevitably disappointing them because I overbooked or overscheduled myself.
Hmm.
So I learned this stuff on my own, and now I'm coaching people on how to do it and how I started creating the organized life for myself. And I say all the time, it's you never arrive at the organized life. You never arrive. It's
Mm.
always a journey. So right now I'm in transition. Like I told you, I just moved back to St. Louis, Missouri. So now I'm in transition. That was my boys are 22 and 20, right? So I'm parenting them differently, right? So I have a little bit more free time on my hands. So I'm really growing my business. And so I'm what does that look like for me? Like my physical space, that's nothing. Like I can always get that organized. But I had to move that, and that was a
Yeah,
journey.
that's yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
And moving across the country.
From
So,
yeah, one state to the next.
yeah. So, and I move people for a living, but we had a lot of snowstorms in North Carolina around the time of moving, and I had to push my timeline up, which caused chaos that I was not prepared for. Okay, so talking about living an organized life, I was throwing stuff in boxes that I would never do because I was like trying to get from here to there in a certain timeline before the next snowstorm hit. But the point that I'm making is that we're always creating the organized life. You're never arrived. It's just about what season you're in, what adjustments you need to make, how you can be flexible in this season of your life to see, okay, well, what was important to me then is not necessarily important to me now. My kids are driving, they are doing their own thing. I do not have to be an unpaid Uber driver anymore. So I have a lot more free time on my hands, like sending them to the grocery store, right? Having them run errands and things. So it just changes and shifts, and we gotta be uh know that we're on a journey of creating the organized life and that you never arrive. And what was working for you yesterday doesn't mean it's gonna work for you today.
So it sounds like a lifestyle, and you must align with your season.
Yeah, so one of my slogans is it's a lifestyle, not magic. We are
Mm.
not creating something that is just we snap our fingers and it happens, right? It's a journey that we're on, right? We don't get the wave of. I do ask my clients when in our first when we do our assessment, if you could wave your magic wand and have this done, what would it be?
Yeah,
That
that's
lets
the
me,
ultimate coaching question.
yeah, that lets me know where we need to start. Now we know we don't have a magic wand to actually get the thing done, but that gives me an idea of where we need to start and what will actually bring that first sense of peace, right? So, um,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So what is your onboarding process for your clients?
yeah. So we do first consulting call. So they usually find me online or something like that, or get my number from a friend, which is the best, right? The word of mouth.
Referrals, yes.
Uh-huh. And then we just talk on the phone for a few minutes and we decide if on that call if we want to move further with each other. So I'm interviewing you, you're interviewing me, right?
Right.
And then we do the assessment. So if it's in person, then I'll just come to your house. We have the in-person assessment. You give me a tour. You let me know your pain points and what your vision is for your space. Now, you may not have a full vision because you really don't know what you want until we start clearing out the stuff and you actually get to see your space and you're like, oh, I forgot my house was this big, right? And so you start having a different outlook on your space. And then after the after the physical assessment in house, then we decide which package we're going to go with, how many sessions you need, how long it's going to take. I give you an estimate. And then we schedule, you pay your deposit, and then you get a link to my calendar and you schedule sessions for whatever day and time works for you based on my
Okay.
availability. As far as virtual, it's very similar, right? We do the consulting call, then we do the virtual assessment, where we talk about your pain points. You give me a tour of your space virtually, and then we talk about an estimate. and then we go into you pay your deposit and schedule your sessions.
Okay. All right now.
Yeah.
That's great. It sounds like you should have a TV show.
I wish. That's next.
That would be so cool, right?
That's
If you
next.
had a TV
Yes.
show to walk people through and see the before and after, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Do you take before and after pictures and stuff for your
I'm
clients?
so bad with it. Yes, I do take before and after pictures. I've gotten so good in the past. I want to say 4 years. I've gotten much better at taking before and after photos. However, creating the content of me doing the thing before and after is where I fall off the wagon because I go in and I'm just ready to go and I forget to
Right.
set the camera up. And then there's a privacy issue. If I'm working with a client one on one, I don't want them in the video footage unless they want to be, but I prefer not
Right.
to have them in the video footage. And
Yeah,
so,
for confidentiality.
yeah, so it's a little bit more challenging with that because like if their house is a mess, they don't want their
You
face
don't
posted
want,
with that.
yeah.
Even with the after picture, you can connect the two dots. Okay, that's the same house, child. So that so
Right.
I don't really want them in the picture. So it's challenging when I'm working with clients one on one. But I can sometimes do it. But more
Okay.
so I can get it when I'm working solo, just me and my assistant or just me by myself. It's easier to get that footage, but
I hear you.
I'm not interested. That's another area of opportunity for me.
So, if you could give the audience one piece of advice, what would it be?
Uh, it's gonna be I'm going back to get your calendar together. Say yes to the right things. Because when you're saying yes to the wrong things, you're not leaving opportunity to say yes to the right things.
Hmm.
Um, you got, and it's okay to say no. Honey, when I started living in the power of the word no, I am not being sarcastic. I'm not being over dramatic. It completely changed my life because what it did, it gave me a sense of power and freedom to where
Yes.
I would say, let me get back to you. Let me check my schedule, right? It don't even have to be a no right now. It can
Right.
just be, let me check my schedule and I'll text you tomorrow or whatever the case may be. But I had a therapist on my podcast a while back, a few months ago, and one of the things she said to me, though, I loved and I said as much as I can, is no is also means the next opportunity.
Yes.
The next opportunity for you to get somebody else to do it, the next opportunity for me to do something else. No,
Yes, it
next
is. That's true.
opportunity.
It's a
And
boundary issue.
yes, very much so. We talked about boundaries,
Mhm.
right? Even saying no to your children, whoever. But we got to look at what's important to us and we got to
Right.
map out how to make that happen. So even if you hire me to help you get organized, you got to put me on your calendar.
Right.
You gotta
Exactly.
you
That's the
gotta
only
schedule
way.
me in, right? So we're going back to the calendar, and yeah, we're gonna get the physical space done. We can do that, but we can't do it without you adding it to the calendar, without you being intentional about what you're
Right.
planning, how you're gonna get this done. Like if you're ready to create the organized life, if you're ready to build your business, if you're ready to lose weight, if you're ready to start eating a healthier life, you got to put those things in your calendar. When you're gonna go to the gym, when you're gonna go to the grocery store to buy those healthy groceries, when you're gonna put your time into your business, right? All that stuff has to go into your calendar. So, yes, we want to get our physical space organized, but we got to get those calendars in order also. And
So
I do start with clients on their physical space, but it will always manifest itself. And so we always going to end up in their calendar regardless. Whether
that's
they,
the starting point. That's the
yeah,
transformation point, right?
yeah,
The
yeah, yeah, yeah,
calendar.
yeah. Yeah, they want me to come in and help them with their physical space, but it's all about how are you managing your calendar? Like, how are we going to make sure this stays that way?
Yeah. And nobody ever think about that. They like, I just want my space to organize.
Yes.
I don't
And
care about a calendar, but you need to
yeah,
care about a calendar.
you do. You do.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with the audience. And I've heard of people organizing, people's physical space, but I've
Mhm.
never seen it go into that arena. And that is amazing what you're doing. And people need it. And, all types of people need it. So that's great. So thank you so much for sharing it to the audience. Organization is key. Calendar is key. So if you need help in that area, reach out to Takilla and she can help you get that. And we'll have her information in the comments, and as well as the video, so you can reach out and get the help you need. We all need help in different areas. That's what makes us successful. So if you feel like you know someone that needs it, please do share, comment, and subscribe to my channel because I'm always having amazing people here. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so fun.
Until then, have a fantastic Monday.
It's your time to shine. Journey to chart. Coach Rice wisdom will heal every heart. So join us now. Let's make life suffice. Welcome to Mondays with Coach Rice.